Alright folks, we're back with some more video. Hey, look at this, I'm still doing these things. And I'm actually returning to the civilization roots at the moment. And I'm trying to remember exactly, the plan here was to, well, explore more. And I'm trying to be a little bit more informational with this game. And I believe a lot of what we need to do right now is set up for the future of our map. If you remember correctly, we had kind of explored the entirety of this lower region, the lower half of the world, and you can see it wraps around. But the problem is, if we want to explore further, we're probably going to need a Scrolls of Ancient Wisdom. We're going to need Scrolls of Ancient Wisdom to construct things. Construction seems kind of odd, considering that technically, weren't we already constructing everything that we were making before? I mean, did we just build large granaries and not have any plan on how to build them? I don't know. But, construction is actually one of those really handy ones that I think you pretty much need for a lot of the key... fighting going on. One of the ones you need for a lot of the key things to advance. I'm not sure if invention comes off that, but there's a lot of important ones that come. In fact, you know what? I will bring it up real quick. Civilization advances. Oh, construction's the next tab. Construction. Engineering. Sorry, I think engineering is actually the big one. Let me click on engineering. Yeah, invention. Invention is one of the biggest ones because it'll get you gunpowder. Steam engine's not terribly great, but I mean it's still useful, and especially in this game, upgrading from roads is always a good thing. But democracy can be really good depending on how you're playing, or how you plan to win the game, essentially. Because you can win by conquest, you can win by sheer size and growth. You can win by wealth. Well, I mean, you can't technically win the game just for being rich, but I mean, you can win the game by having enough resources to just build everything that you need to build. But zoom the temple. We're gonna. Oh yes, we are. Some of our starting towns. Again, one of those first things that you. What the? Why is that outside of the? Get away here. One of the first things in these things, something's goofy with the format of the last video that the last game I played with Civ, as opposed to the last recording I did. What was I saying? Something about temples are generally one of the best things to start building in a new town, because temples and granaries, go with granaries. Granaries I already covered. Pretty much give you the ability to store and grow your population faster in the city, whereas temples will keep your people happy. And especially if you're in a situation where you're actually going to war a lot more often, you're going to need to keep people happy, especially once you upgrade to more complex government systems, because especially the democracies and the republics do not really like the fact that you are building military units, yet at the same time you really have to have military units in new cities, otherwise you're just going to lose them and you'll end up giving up things to the enemy, like technologies and researches and all that stuff. Change some of these things. You don't have a temple yet? You're building a temple. I'm not sure why I had this settler wandering around. Oh, hey, another random city made. Well, somebody suggested I name it Namsag, for the gas man backwards. Naming things backwards is a long-standing tradition in both the internet and the film industry. And Nilbog is no obsession. No obsession. Blip, 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 blip. No exception to this rule. Hey, but for some reason this is full screen. Oh, dumb. Dumb. Alright, I want an actual chair to sit in. I love the upgrade is like this, kind of this Lion King rock formation in the middle of the room to a simple wooden chair. Like, somehow it's more impressive that I'm sitting in a small, uncomfortable wooden chair. Oh, barbarians again, you bastards. I will crush you with my elephant. Yeah, I would be more impressed with the guy, you know, lounging on hard rocks surrounded by women than, you know, a guy sitting in a small wooden dining room table chair. These guys are... Oh. What? Oh, man, you're joking me. Yes, I'll pay the gold just because... Where was that at? Was that... Oh. I should have been paying attention. And that's kind of one of the problems with... Oh, great. Thanks. Thanks, you. I had enough money, it's not a big deal. Not something I wanted to do, however. But yeah, that's kind of one of the problems with running into a lot of those advanced tribe events, or, well, discoveries, essentially, those villages are. Okay. Oh, yeah, I probably should have crushed that dude with my elephant. What was I thinking? Roman civilization destroyed by the Indians. Another advanced tribe. Wonderful. Alright, well... More mercenaries. Wonderful. Alright, I need you to build something important or useful. Again, not 100% sure why I had just this random settler wandering out here. Maybe... Oh... Kinda wish I had a blinking icon on the map to tell me where the unit was that I'm controlling is, but that would have been foresight on the thought of the programmers. Okay, well... Exploring. So, this game is pretty simplistic as far as real turn-based strategy games go. I mean, all the upgrades, all the units, combat units are pretty simplified. All the improvements really just kind of, they have a logical use to them all. I mean, you're building a courthouse pretty obviously to uphold law, and just by, you know, you can always click and look at the help menu for it, and it'll tell you what it does. Under democracy, but since we don't have a democracy at the moment, it's kind of useless. But we will put a marketplace into place. We'll put some other things in. Let's see. 5 people. And quit this. I don't understand why that's outside the window, but it's like the game is playing full screen even though it's windowed. confused. I think it might be just because I had been playing it previously, full screen, but yet when I started it up again, it was in a windowed form because it was squished into a window. I don't know. Whatever. Whatever game. I'll play by your rules this time. Hordes of barbarians. At least hordes of barbarians aren't gonna cause me too much nuisance. Unless, you know, I don't defend the cities that I stumble into through advanced tribe discoveries, but, you know, whatever. That happens. That'll happen. Hey, veteran. Too bad he's probably gonna die. Hey. Wonderful. Oh, you know what? Okay. Permanent free street. Sure, why not? Leave them alone. I believe because the Romans were destroyed by the Indians, Moscow just spawned over here, because I am 100% sure that there wasn't a city here before, and Moscow is usually the first city that the Russian faction will spawn at. So, most likely, more barbarians. Well, I'll shoot them with my arrows. Oh. That didn't work out too well. Okay. Let's sleep in the swamp. Because that'll be safe. Let's go this way. I guess we gotta move away from Moscow. Although I do want to put units around it, because I want to dissuade them from building outwards from their starting area, essentially. This side of the world is mine. I do not want to share it with anyone. Technodrome has a library now. It is important that Krang gets all his books and audio cassettes checked in and out on time, so why not put the library in with him? Okay. I'm gonna hide that unit away from the evils of the barbarian hordes that are hanging around. Put some guards over here. You know, I'm gonna move these guys in a little bit. Let's keep them nearby. You sleep because you're wounded. Skilled mercenaries. Always with the skilled mercenaries. What? Oh, it was on there. Essentially the zones that they... I'm being dumb about it. The zones that you can't occupy if you have a peace treaty are the ones that are essentially 3 squares out from the center of the town. So, essentially when you see a city on the map, it actually covers this many squares around it. So, as far as the game's concerned, you standing in one of the squares is threatening that city or whatnot, so I needed to move. Or at least the game said I needed to move. I could have actually stood and just destroyed the Russians, but we'll give them some time. We'll see what they do, and then maybe we'll leave them alone. Maybe we'll destroy them. I don't know. Maybe we'll put that up to you. Oh, come on, really? Ugh. I hate that's kind of one of the worst things about running into so many of those advanced tribe situations is you'll have... Yeah, I figured as much. you'll have times where you create 3 or 4 cities in a turn, and if you're still exploring, you'll end up running into a possibility of running into hordes of barbarians and screwing up everything by letting them loose on the world, and then they end up. Where's this guy at? Okay. Then they end up, you know, taking over your population 1 cities, and barbarians doing it isn't so much a problem, other than you lose population. It's when other civilizations get a hold of you that it becomes a real problem, because then you have guys that are behind you in the race. They end up stealing something like gunpowder or hanging gardens. Hooray! They end up stealing something that'll put them right back in the game too quickly. Usually, as for yes, domestic advisor, get your ass over here. Usually, you'll do well to. Oh, hey, why am I not building the Great Library? No, wait, not you. I'll have an important city built up. And you know what? I can almost imagine I'm already building said Great Library somewhere. I would be silly not to have already started building the Great Library as soon as I got it. I just have to remember what me 2 months ago did. No, not city improvements. I know there's a way you can check out what all your cities are doing. There's city status. There we go. Yeah, that's what I thought. Capital is building the Great Library. You can kind of check out everything that your guys are building, which can be handy. Also shows you how many cities you've got, and what their production is, what their trade is. Important things. Alright, so let us move on. Fortify. Yeah, like I said, I do need to get a city on this coast, because if I recall correctly, the pyramids, the hanging gardens. I'm not sure why you would ever. Okay. The game just doesn't figure out that maybe I shouldn't switch to something that somebody is just about to complete, but they seem to do it all the time. Okay, let's come down here. You know, I probably should have just stopped him and improved a bunch of stuff over there. Yeah, I don't have bridge building. Dirt.